Hi, this is Christina. Today I want to talk about twin flames and narcissism, twin flames and mastery, twin flames and ascension, and twin flames and missions. And I've wanted to do this talk about twin flames and narcissism for a while, but it's kind of like difficult to talk about, but there's a truth behind it and a reality that we should face. So all of these concepts that I want to talk about with twin flames, to do with narcissism, mastery, ascension, and missions, is kind of all interlinked. Now, the thing is that the twin flame journey is about healing polarity. So it's kind of on one level, the mission of a twin flame is about healing polarity. And there are many missions within the missions, so to speak, and everybody is doing their part in a different way. And we have to realize that you can't put a one size fits all when it comes to the twin flame journey, just like you can't put a one size fits all to anything for anybody, because we are all individuals. We might be, okay, unique in the situation that you are a twin flame with a twin flame incarnate on planet Earth. But it still doesn't mean that it's going to be exactly the same for everybody, because everybody's at a different phase of their journey. So let's talk about why would twin flames be narcissists. I have come across many posts where people say, no, it's not possible for twin flame to be a narcissist because they're a divine masculine. Well, actually, that's not true, because twin flames are here to heal polarity. So one twin flame will be more on the spiritual side, and one will be more on the other side. and so it just depends where you're at on your journey, how much healing has taken place. Which brings me to, the ascension. So if you are, maybe you haven't or even embarked upon your ascension yet, you should. Everybody's on it to a degree, but I do a lot of this. Is my work, this is what I do, and I am able to see and measure consciousness, so I know exactly how far somebody is along on their ascension journey and how that is going to affect them, what stage they are at, what they are actually learning to master, because it's all about mastery, and every phase is about mastery, and people can go up and can come down, come up and come down, and that's part of it, because we are forever growing. And if we haven't learned something completely, or to the greatest degree, maybe we never learn everything 100%, but we go back to have another go. And when it comes to narcissism, um, it will be at varying degrees, because for one thing, the if you've met your twin flame and they appear to have strong narcissistic traits. So let's put it at that: strong narcissistic traits, or because all of us can be on the spectrum to some degree. Now, I was watching a video recently about someone who very bravely talks about the twin flame journey and narcissism. And she was saying, she's done a lot of research. So what I talk about comes more from experience, more from my clients' experience and backgrounds, and what I am seeing in that instance. But she was saying, narcissism is categorized as a mental illness or mental health issue, but really it is a spiritual health issue. And I agree that it is a spiritual health issue, and which of course creates a mental health issue, but it is a spiritual health issue, because um, narcissism is caused by trauma, usually from childhood, and when someone experiences trauma, their energy field is weakened, and often it is very difficult for people throughout their life to strengthen their energy field enough to be fully protected. You need a lot of help when you have experienced the trauma. And if somebody has experienced trauma when they are a child and they've never had the help to be able to work forward that throughout their life, it's going to create huge gaps in their energy field, in their etheric field. And these gaps and leaks, tears, and things that are caused through the trauma are an entry point for dark energies. And it is these dark energies that affect people that have experienced trauma that can create the condition that is called narcissism. So they become controlled, if you like, by another energy. And you will be surprised, this can be a lot of people that you know, but it'll be varying degrees. So not every narcissist is the demon, and not, and in fact they are not in any case. It's just that they have these entities around them. Now I work in the healing field, so I know how many all of us that can be affected by dark energies and entities, and it's just part of life and what we are going through, where we are going, where we are spending our time, who we are spending our time around. And so it's a direction where I that I see a lot, and I can be doing a healing session on somebody and they are affected by an entity, and so we need to deal with it. And either I deal with it if I can, if it's not too bad, or I pass it on to my actual twin flame, who actually does do that kind of work. He clears dark entities and black magic and that kind of stuff. So he's on the complete opposite end of the side of things to what I am. I'm working with Ascension and feeding people with the light, and he is removing the darkness so that they are able to receive the light. So what I want to mention here, actually, because this is really important. If any of you have ever done numerology, learned numerology, and you learn about your life lesson, so I'm kind of detouring a little bit here, but it's important. If you look at your life lesson and what it is that you incarnated to learn through with your life lesson, some people call it the life path, but basically it's your life lesson. Whatever your life lessons are and your life challenges are, they are also what you are here to master. So that becomes your gift to humanity, your path to mastery. So we're talking about narcissism, and narcissistic people, and the trauma that these people have experienced, and the dark energies that can plague their lives because of this trauma that they have experienced as a child. So say that's you, and you have experienced great degrees of trauma and you find it very difficult to move through, and you're hounded all the time by situations such as entities and possibly even black magic. But and you're aware of that, or maybe you're not aware of that, but somehow you stumble upon, say, a video like this, or somehow you come across it, or you approach a healer because your life is always going down the wrong way, think you're really struggling with things, and so you find out like that. Then this is part of your mastery. And I'm not saying that all of a sudden you become this healer of clearing this stuff away, because no, first of all, you need to work with knowing how to keep it at bay yourself and working with that. But this is your mastery. So each of us is given a life lesson that we need to work through, and each of us is given a set of challenges that we come in to do. And depending on our spiritual growth from previous lifetimes, that also governs what our experiences, and also governs what challenges we have been going to move through. So I want to talk again in this part about mastery. You can color mastery, like becoming a master, with, thinking that somebody that has reached a high degree and they are now becoming a master or working towards becoming a master, so we call it an adept, that their life would be, easier than others. But in fact, it's not true. So the master will always be challenged. the master will be challenged to greater degrees. So I want you to have a rethink now about these narcissistic people in the world and what they may have incarnated to actually do. And that this, by them being damaged in such a way, may make it very difficult for them to reach their mastery. But their mastery is coming because of this, if they become self-aware, of course, because we can all get lost on the journey of life. None of us are, exempt from that for sure. We have to be very strong in spirit and aware of what we are doing. Now, I want to talk a little bit now. I've mentioned this once before, and I'm going to mention it a few times because it's really important. A year or so ago, a couple of years ago, I think it was, I had a past life regression with a friend of mine named Tony Ratnam in Australia, and he does this work if you're interested in contacting him. And my reason for having this past life, I had to pause for a moment, I had a cough. The reason I had this past life regression was with the intent, in actual fact, to go between worlds. I wanted to go between worlds to travel back to the monad for the purpose of seeing, how twin flames come, how they come about, what happens. I had no idea if I would be able to do it. I had no idea if I would see anything. But I'm kind of pretty good at that kind of stuff. I can do it in meditation, but it's really good to have somebody leading you through with a specific direction and to keep you on track, because you can wander off on your own thing. So I had this journey with my friend Tony, which I may post one day. I don't really know yet. But I'm going to cut a long story short. I went out toward to the monad. So I had this previous journey, da 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 da, and then when I got to the point of going into the monad, with the intention to see what is the story with the divine masculine and the divine feminine, what I saw was, because the monad is the cosmic egg, so I didn't see a shape of anything, but it was kind of like a ship, like a spaceship or something. But I didn't see the outline. I was just seeing that there was this vessel or vehicle or, something. And what I saw were two lines of people, beings. One were all feminine. They were a shimmery white, blue color, dressed in whitish, and a line of masculines, and they were a little more blue. And what I saw in the feminine's hands were they were carrying these trays, and on these trays there were candles lit, these flames, there were flames. And they stood at the edge of this vehicle, whatever, opening, with all the universe in front of them. And I was very interested. What are they going to do? My mind is asking the questions. And as you ask the question, the answers are given. It's as easy as that, really. Or the journey begins. So my question was, what are they going to do? And as I thought that, they stepped off or out of this vehicle. And the feminines went to the left and the masculines went to the right. I followed the feminine because I wanted to know where she was going and what she was going to do. So there were more than one, there were more than one, and they went off to the left, carrying these trays of flames. And as I followed them, it was as if, instantly we got a certain distance or whatever. And all I could see was this tray, this plate with these candles of flames, all these flames on it. And the plate split down the middle. So there were like 12 candles, because I could tell by the time it split that there was 6 on this side and 6 on this side. So it split down the middle, and these candles began to move or walk off these flames, and come down two by two. They were coming down the center of this plate, two by two. And then they went off somewhere. And I thought, where are they going? And when I had the thought, I saw as if I was looking down upon a canopy of trees. So I knew that they had gone to planet Earth. So my next thought was, what happened to the masculine? I want to know what they did. And so then I was back at the monad. And what I saw with the masculine is after they had left this vehicle, they had changed color. And in fact, they were kind of this color, this reddy color, a ruddy red color. And it looked like a troop. They looked like a troop. And there was an entrance that they were heading towards, but I couldn't see. It was very dark inside this entrance. It was just like an archway, portal, whatever. And they were marching towards this entrance. And I went to follow them, but I was blocked. I couldn't go any further. So I knew that I was not allowed to go into that area. And so my next thought after that was, where did they go? What happens to them? And following that thought, I saw them coming out the other end. And when they came out the other end, they were very tired and very worn out. They looked burnt out, in fact, and they were heading towards a bridge. And I knew, and they were still like a troop, burnt out troop. They'd had enough, and they were heading towards the bridge, which the bridge I knew was meaning the bridge to a better world. And so I knew that this is what happens. The divine masculine were contracted from the very beginning to experience the darkness. I only want to talk about the divine masculine right now, and I have a lot of emotion come up with me because I'm in a twin flame journey, and I know, he struggles. And with my clients, I see all the time they have this divine masculine that is struggling. It's always, we're always thinking about ourselves, and the divine feminines tend to come into the victim place of, um, what they are doing and how crazy these masculines are. But we need to step back, have compassion, look after ourselves, come from the place of mastery, step into that mastery, the degree of mastery that we are. And if you're not there yet, if you have not embarked upon the ascension journey on a conscious way, if you are fifth dimension or lower, or even if you are less than the 10th dimension, you need to step away if your twin flame is on a high degree of narcissistic traits, because you're not ready, and they are definitely not ready. And you need to focus on your ascension. So it's pointless talking about these demonic energies that are engulfing your divine masculine, because this is a journey of the two. This is an agreement. This is a contract from the very beginning that the divine feminine got to go into the light. She got the so-called easy journey, and he got to go into the pits of hell. And now it's time for him to come out. And when you're contracted on that and contracted with the dark, it's very difficult to come out. And I have seen this. I've been teaching Ascension for over 20 years. Well over 20 years, and I have seen it over and over and over, where people have come to my groups and they have been, they've literally told me that this lifetime, I know that I am to leave the dark behind. So they've had many lifetimes and it's always, not always a man, okay, it can be a woman. They've had lifetimes in the dark, working with black magic, working with all of this kind of stuff, and that they know that this lifetime they have to get free, to break that contract and get free, but that they struggle because usually people that have had these contracts with the dark are very powerful. They have very powerful gifts, and they often have they are very awakened to their gifts, often, not always, but often, and it's there. And so the dark side, now this bit of information I actually got from a woman that I knew or know, that told me that, she knows she had many lifetimes on the dark side, and that this lifetime she's breaking away. And I had mentioned about the power that I have noticed with the people that have experienced this, that they are very powerful. And she said to me, that is why the dark want them and won't let them go, because of the power. and that makes sense. So you can see how the dark side is going to try to grip and hold them and keep them on their side. And these masculines are, they're ready to come into the light. So they are, tested all of the time. So the divine feminine has to have the compassion to know when to step back, to know when that, okay, this part of the journey, I need to walk alone. But not to be projecting all the time the negativity toward her masculine. And we can all be guilty of that, because as we are wounded and hurt on our journeys, it can make it very difficult not to do that. So we have to rise above that again and be the light, be the absolute light, so that all they see when they are in contact with you is the light. So they are reminded about the light, and they are reminded that this light is what they need to help them to open their hearts, to heal their wounds, and to step into the light as well, because they may not be able to do it completely in this lifetime, but this is a journey. And to remember that twin flames come from opposite ends of the scale. They are here to heal polarity. And so you stepped on to do that. Now, so coming back to ascension, or twin flames generally incarnate with a mission. So if you are not on your mission yet, you can't find your mission, you can't find your purpose, you can't kind of pull it together, you've got one and you want it, that calling is within you, but it's not happened for you just naturally. You need to focus on you. You need to heal you. You need to focus only on your ascension. Stop trying to focus on being in union with your twin flame. Focus on you. Be in union with yourself. Light your own flame. Carry your own flame. And focus on that. And stop focusing on the relationship ideal that you want with your twin flame, because it's not actually here for that anyway. And, not saying it can't happen, but the reality is that this is a journey about missions. This is a journey about ascension. This is a journey about you rising, rising, rising. So step it back and focus on your ascension and shift your energies up, because twin flames merge at the 10th dimension. They start to come into full union from the 10th dimension up to the 24th dimension. And just while I'm here, if you want to know more about this, and if you want to step on this journey and consciously learn, if you want to raise your frequency and get to the point where you can step into your mastery, then the links will be below for the Luxor Light Ascension program, and connect with me. I'm always there for support every step of the way. So this is the journey of ascension. This is the journey of stepping into your mission. This is the journey to become a master. And this journey has an empath who needs to become a super empath, and a narcissist who needs to become self-aware. So you will see that usually the masculines have quite a big ego. They're not necessarily a full-blown narcissist. It depends how many lifetimes they've had coming out of that hellfire of being one of the troopers that sacrificed their soul for the good of others, to learn. We came, it's a polarity-based universe. We came to learn about the light and the dark. And so the masculine volunteered for that role, and the feminine volunteered to carry the light. So carry the light, feminines, carry the light, be the light. And that is part of the twin flame mission, okay? Don't get so caught up in the fairy tales. Recognize that the first and foremost mission is to ignite your own flame within, to come into union within for yourself. And your first mission with your twin flame is to be the light and try to stay the light, because the darkness that some of the divine masculines may be still carrying can be so strong that it can pull you into the darkness, and you don't want that. You don't want that to snap you, to put you into a space of trauma where you are attracting it yourself. Step back, step back, step back, and be the light, and focus on how you can be the strongest light, and maybe just have contact from afar or from the distance, or that kind of thing. And And so, even, I, this has gone on a little bit too long, but I'll brief over this very mm, a little bit. So it's a personal thing, but I want to share it so that you can understand that when you come into union with your twin flame, it's not necessarily permanent union, and this is the same as with ascension and enlightenment. Not everybody gets permanent enlightenment. They go up and down, up and down. Most people will experience fleeting moments of enlightenment, but they're not there all the time. And this can be the same with you and your degrees of union with your twin flame. You can have fleeting moments of union, full union on all levels, but it's not necessarily there because, again, it all comes back to the healing. So, just before I say see you later, um, just to mention that I will put some links below for healing or for healing. Um, and also for if you would like to know if you are a twin flame, because I can see, and you will need to choose the twin flame analysis to be able to have a look at that. And if you're concerned about energies that may be affecting you, then I'll also put some links for clearing for that, and the Ascension program. And I will talk more about mastery missions and twin flames on another video. That's it from me. Bye.